West Indies Cricket, Caribbean Cricket Podcast. West Indies Cricket, Caribbean Cricket Podcast.
Yes, people. I'm recording from an undisclosed location. Let me tell you about my day today. Never mind the fact that I'm Machel St. Patrick here at one half the Caribbean Cricket Podcast. Let me tell you about my day today. I was in hospital today. I had an operation. This operation has been scheduled for, the last 5 months or so. So today was operation day. I had to get out of my bed at 6:30 in the morning, get to hospital for 7:30. And yeah, I had a pretty, was it a serious operation? Well, it wasn't life or death, people, but it was definitely an operation that required me to be put to sleep. So I've got home. About 3 hours ago? I'm on some ibuprofen, paracetamol. Doctors signed me off for 2 weeks. But you done know already. That's not how we work in the Caribbean. Man will go back to work within 48 hours or something like that. I'll be back next week, undoubtedly. But I got that 2 week sign off. They've cut out. You can't see it. It's underneath here. I've got a big, massive bandage right about here. Got a big, massive bandage. And it's long for me. That's where the cannula. Oh, sugar! I just realized you can see my information. Oh my God, let me hide that. That's where the cannula went in. Long day for me. Long day. But we're here. Whilst I was waiting for my operation, the West Indies under-19 game was going on. So I was basically watching that until I was put in. Sorry, look at me just taking long to get the point out. So basically, I got to watch the whole of the under-19 match prior to going in for the operation. So we can talk about it and we can kind of chop it up and break it down. Now, the first things first is this for me. All that matters in a World Cup is the W. I'm not really bothered about how you get the W or who was crap and who wasn't good and so on and so forth. All that actually matters. World Cups, in any sport, World Cup performance is all about just get the win by any means necessary. Go back to, was it the 2014 World Cup? Could have the years wrong here. I'm trying to talk of was it 2014? What was the World Cup where Saudi Arabia beat Argentina in the opening game and Argentina still went on to get to the final? Or the World Cup where Cameroon beat Argentina in the opening game? I think that was 1990. That was the 1990 World Cup. Cameroon beat Argentina in the opening game and Argentina still went on to get to the World Cup final. I'm using the football analogy here, but the point I'm trying to make is a World Cup, all that matters is getting the W's and performing when it comes to clutch moments. Think about West Indies in the West Indies senior men's side in the T20 World Cup in 2024. We won all of our group games. We beat Uganda, we beat Papua New Guinea, we beat New Zealand, we beat Afghanistan, right? Flawless record. We got into the Super 8s or Super 6s or whatever it was called. When we got into the Super 6s, that's when we failed to perform. Lost to England, lost to South Africa, beat USA. And even when we played South Africa, we had a chance to beat South Africa, which would have put us in the semi-finals, but we didn't come up in the clutch. So to me, it's not really about, who was really good, who was really bad. It's just, can you get the W? We're not here to hear anything else other than, can you get the W? That said, let's go to this comment from Atush. Atush says, is it even coming up? Atush says the first 12 overs when Tanzania was batting was peak. By the way, let me take this thing off, by the way, this NHS thing. By the way, why on comms were they calling Tanzania? Are there any Africans? Are there any Tanzanians or Africans in general who know the right pronunciation? Is Tanzania supposed to be pronounced Tanzania? I've never heard it pronounced Tanzania in my whole life. Have I been pronouncing Tanzania wrong this whole time? Can anyone confirm if Tanzania is supposed to be pronounced Tanzania? That's what they were saying on comms. They kept saying Tanzania. I was like, huh? What? Huh? So maybe that's how you're supposed to say it. Maybe that's how it's always supposed to have been said. And us in Western Europe have been butchering that name this whole time. So let's go with it then. Tanzania. So in the first 12 overs or so, Tanzania were 50 odd for none. But unlike, I think some people are worrying, right? And don't get me wrong, I think Rajai Gittins and Aidan Ratcher took the new ball. I think Shaquan Bell was first change, and Jonathan Van Lang, I think they were first and second change. And in the first 10 overs, what I think happened was I think West Indies went searching for it too much. I think they were varying their lengths quite a bit. They weren't really sticking, or unless they're going to tell me that was their plan, to bowl short, to bowl full, to bowl offside, to bowl leg side. I just felt that in the first 10 or so overs, they tried too hard to get wickets. Let's not forget the West Indies won the toss and opted to bowl, right? So they knew there was some wicket. And I just felt like at times they were trying too hard to go searching for the breakthrough, when what was actually required was just settling into a nice line and length and almost waiting for the mistakes that were inevitable, that were going to come from the Tanzanian, call it what you want, batters, right? And that's why I was so surprised that Jakeem Pollard didn't play. Now, again, lots of people are talking on the under-19 cricket team like they've ever watched these guys properly before. And I'm not trying to say that I have, right? But I think you have to take with a pinch of salt when people talk about this under-19 team with any kind of authority. No one ain't studying this under-19 team in loads and loads of detail, myself included. So anybody who's making comments on the under-19 team, generally speaking, it's all right to admit that you don't really know what you're talking about either, right? But with the limited data set that we've got and the limited footage that we've got of some of these guys, the one thing that we can definitely say with all certainty, if you've watched anything from the under-19s, is that Jakeem Pollard offers the most control with the ball in the under-19 side. So it was bizarre when I saw the lineup and I was like, wait, Jakeem Pollard's not playing, much less he offers the left arm angle, and he's not playing. And I think Panda Stefford said in the Discord group, if you're not in the Caribbean Cricket Podcast Discord group, you can join it by becoming a patron. Let me just put that link up, because some of you lot don't want to join the patron. Join the patron, become a join at the lowest tier, and you get the link for the patron. So in the Discord, when those of us who are watching were going back and forth in the Discord, Panda Stefford said in the Discord that Bish had said on commentary, because I missed it. I missed that line in commentary, but Bish had said that Pollard was left out for strategy reasons. And I was like, no way was Pollard left out for strategy reasons. It's better you say that he was left out because of an injury, because there's no way, there's no rational argument anybody can give me to why you'd leave out Jakeem Pollard when you know he offers control. And this is why, for those of you who watched the Patreon special, that was only for patron subscribers, that I dropped yesterday about who plays in the first 11 versus Tanzania. I said in that video that I said that Jakeem Pollard's in my first 11. So my first 11 was right, bar 2 players. I had Matthew Miller playing and I had Jakeem Pollard playing. I didn't have Ratcher playing and I didn't have Rajai Gittins playing. And I look back now and go, okay, I got it wrong. But then I also look at how West Indies bowled up front and I'm thinking, yeah, but did I get it wrong? I might have got it right. The West Indies think tank might have got it wrong, because did Ratcher and Gittins bowl well with the new ball? No. That's not me cussing them though. Like, I get it. They bowled well against Japan, and I still maintain that what happened was they bowled well against Japan. Gittins took 4 wickets. I think Ratcher took 1 wicket, 4 overs, 1 for 6 runs. And I just think they went, right, these two men bowled well versus Japan in the warm-up game. In you come for the first game against Tanzania. That's what I think. Like I say, could be completely wrong. That's just how I read it. So anyway, so that's what they went with. And then outside the power play, to be fair, once the first wicket fell, was it Gittins who got the first wicket? Let me go and remind myself. Who got the first wickets? Joban Putra was the first one out. Jonathan Van Lang actually got the first wicket. So Jonathan Van Lang got the first wicket. First wicket fell at 53 for 1, right? And as soon as the first wicket fell, Tanzania just basically lost their way. And come on, all of us, anybody who's in this live right now, anybody who's watched any kind of iteration of proper cricket at any point in time, you should have known that once one wicket fell, and certainly when the second wicket fell, I think all rational West Indian fans or cricket fans in general were like, yeah, Tanzania are going to get bowled down for little or nothing now. Like, it's going to be pure collapse for them from here. And so said, so done. So Van Lang got the first breakthrough. Shaquan Bell then got rid of the opener. So Dylan Thakra got 26. Darban Jopanputra got 19, and then nobody did anything after that. Pure single-digit scores for the rest of the innings from the Tanzanians. And really, when this Shaquan Bell started poorly, but then recovered to bowl a really nice spell of bowling, 7 overs, 2 for 23. Jonathan Van Lang, 5 overs, 1 for 18. They've got some work to do on Jonathan Van Lang. I mean, we were saying it before the tournament started, right? And I'm sure people in Guyana have been saying to Jonathan Van Lang from time. Obviously, he's a talented all-rounder, but the way again, this was something that was being discussed in the Discord group, Panda Steph and I think it was Kartikeya, or maybe it was somebody else, was saying in the Discord group, in the live watch along in the Discord group, or group watch along in the Discord group, that they were saying that Van Lang loses so much pace in his last three or two delivery strides. So he's running full pelt, then almost stops and starts and shifts his body weight in the last 2 delivery strides before he bowls the ball. And we were basically discussing in the Discord group that Van Lang has 2 options he's got to take here. He reminds me of Rampal in how he approaches the crease. His run-up reminds me of Rampal. And if I'm right in that his run-up is reminiscent of Ravi Rampal, then Van Lang is going to have to basically cash in the lack of pace for an increase in ability to bowl variations. So they should be using Van Lang, for example, to focus on cutters into the pitch. Van Lang looks like a bowler who should be able to bowl really good off-pace, on-pace cutters and use the pitch to his benefit, because he is not maximizing what he's got in his natural athletic ability to bowl at, like, he can't bowl at full tilt. His body's not in proportion to what it should be. That sounds like a critique. It's not meant to be a critique. I'm sure he knows this, right? Like, he can't, like, that conditioning's just got to improve, full stop. But he's obviously a very talented cricketer and he's got variations in his locker. I think he should probably focus on maximizing those variations. So Van Lang, 5 overs, 1 for 18. And then really, who were the stars of the piece? It was the 2 leg spinners. We knew that both of them would play, Vittel Laws and Micah Mackenzie. And let's have this right. As soon as Vittel Laws and Micah Mackenzie came on, it was a wrap for Tanzania. Between the 2 of them, they bowled 12 overs, 3 maidens, 5 wickets for 38 runs. Say that again. So between the 2 spinners, Laws and Mackenzie, 12 overs, 3 maidens, 5 for 38. Mackenzie went at a run rate economy sort of 2.5. Vittel Laws at an economy of 3.8. I actually it was interesting because on comms, I think it was Andrew Leonard on comms, they were all raving about Vittel Laws. And obviously there's loads of people in the Caribbean raving about Vittel Laws, and rightly so. Like, he's obviously got ability. But for me, I actually thought Micah Mackenzie was the bowler of the match. They didn't know. Don't get me wrong, Vittel Laws bowled some magic balls, right? And we got to give props to the young Jamaican. That's my chargy right there. But I thought Micah Mackenzie's control of his flight and accuracy was actually better. I don't think the Tanzanians knew what to do with Micah Mackenzie. There was 1 over that Micah Mackenzie bowled where I think he had his man out at least 3 times, and the umpire didn't put his finger up once. And I was looking, going, hold on. Even if I'm willing to accept that 2 of them might have been not out, but all 3 of them not out? Like, there was this, I don't know if anybody else remembers, there was this 1 over where they basically couldn't score off him. And then 3 deliveries pinned the batter on the crease, and I was like, come on, that's got to be LBW. And I was just looking at the umpires going, what's going on out here? But anyways, I thought Michael McKenzie was brilliant. He was, for me, he was the pick of the bowlers. But obviously, I get, based on the deliveries that Vittel Laws bowled to take the wickets, I get why you'd be looking at Vittel Laws and going, there's the magic man right there. But it ultimately, in tandem, McKenzie and Laws were a big, big problem. And I actually wonder what Rowan Nurse and his backroom staff are going to do going forwards, because I actually thought that Laws and McKenzie came in too late. Now I get it, right? You win the toss, you bowl up front, you want to go with your pacers. And maybe this sounds like hindsight, but I remember thinking it at the time. I was like, hold on. I think you could bowl Laws and McKenzie early here and just bowl Tanzania down. Was anyone else thinking that before they even came on and took their wickets? Was there anybody else saying, just bowl Laws and McKenzie up front? They'll bowl these men down quick time. That's what I was thinking. I thought we bowled too much pace at the beginning of the innings. And I don't know. It looked like, like when a team looks like they've committed to a strategy ahead of time and don't think, I thought they could have thought on their feet a lot better. And I didn't feel like we needed to bowl pace as long as we bowled pace in the match. I thought we could have brought on one of them. Remember, these leg spinners are proper leg spinners at the under-19 level. They're not like, oh, now let's bowl our spinners. We're talking about frontline bowlers. They're frontline bowlers. They're not, and now it's time to turn to spin. And I just thought we dropped the ball there a bit. I thought them two, or at least one of those two, could have come on much earlier than they actually did. Anyways, probably sounds like hindsight to a lot of people, but that's what was going through my head when I was watching the game. Atu says the ball stopped doing anything after 3 overs. Should have brought them in from then. I don't know about 3 overs, but certainly I was thinking it during the power play when the pacers weren't bowling with much accuracy. I was thinking, you know what, just bring on the spinners from now. It's a gamble, it's a risk, but why not? Respectfully to Tanzania, it's only Tanzania. Right, anyways, let's move on. So we bowled them down for 122 inside 34 overs. And then when we got our chance to bat, let me just go back to our innings. So we did what I thought we were doing. I said it in the Patreon-only special that I dropped yesterday before the game. I said that I thought Tilakani would be dropped and that I thought that Jewel Andrew would be promoted to 3. And that's exactly what the under-19 team did. So Tanez Francis and Zachary Carter opened. Carter got an unfortunate dismissal. I think an inside edge onto his toe, which rolled onto the stumps. So he was gone for 8 after hitting 1 glorious 6. And then Tanez Francis just carried on his good form from the warm-up games, 52 from 55, and Jewel Andrew a runner ball 44, right? Now, when Jewel Andrew got out, the score was 100 for 2 after 17 overs. So we were doing bits. We were winning this game comfy, looking easy with it. And to all intents and purposes, we still won it comfy, because we chased down the 1-2-2 in 21 overs. Time will tell, though, because remember, Afghanistan and South Africa are the other 2 teams in our group. They play tomorrow. Let's see how quickly they beat Tanzania when they get their chance to play them, right? So we were looking comfy, 100 for 2 after 17 overs. Jewel gets out after a runner ball 44. Please explain to me why we managed to lose another 3 wickets with only 22 runs to get. That was sloppy. I didn't like that. I didn't like that one. And it was part of the thing that has worried me leading up into this tournament. I said it on the YouTube video I did looking at the Under-19 World Cup team. I said it on the Patreon special that I dropped yesterday. If you want those Patreon specials, people, you best become a patron, because more of those things are coming. Patreon specials, more and more of them are coming. I just sorted out with Shane Dietz, the women's senior head coach. He's coming on the podcast in the next few days. I'm thinking to drop that just for patrons. So listen out, people. Patrons are going to get more and more episodes. You lot need to support the Caribbean Cricket Podcast. I need to allow all the freeness. So if you're a patron, look out for that. Shane and I were talking today, and he's agreed to come on because there's a big year coming up for the senior women's team in 2026. So we're going to chop up a conversation about the West Indies women's team. So look out for that. Pick up the patrons. I think I'm going to drop that one just for you. Anyways, back to it. So yeah, it was sloppy. Joshua Dawn, he's not looked good in the warm-up games. What's going on for Joshua? Come on, Josh, you got to come to the party. They were all doing the Ali Kafane sweeping thing. Allow it, innit? So Joshua Dawn out for 5, Jonathan Van Lang out for none, Shaquan Bell, Shaquan, sorry, and then Tanis Francis got out for 52, and then Shamar Apple and Shaquan Bell saw us home. Shamar with a 4 not out, Shaquan Bell with a 6 not out. Now, here's an interesting thing. The under-19 team did exactly what I said they would do in the video I did for the patrons about who will play versus Tanzania. They've moved Shaquan Bell up to 7. So Tilakani got dropped and everybody's moved up 1 spot. I'm going to say it again. Whilst I agree with that, and whilst that's what I think they should be doing, something about our batting lineup for me looks a bit thin. And this is why I had Matthew Miller in my team, because I'm looking at that top 7 batting lineup. And if Jewel and Joshua Dawn don't go deep, I have this nagging feeling in my head that we're going to get bowled down for a little in one of these games against Afghanistan and South Africa. So I'm just kind of warning people that I do think a lot of us coming to the party with the bat depends on Jewel or Joshua Dawn going deep into the innings. And I'm worried if one of the two of them, if not both, don't go deep in an innings as to how quickly things will get wrapped up in our innings. And I saw a little signpost of that, just a little hint of what I'm worried about in us in us scrambling to get the remaining 22 runs after Jewel was bowled down, or Jewel was out for 44, right? So it'll be interesting to see what they do in the next game against, Afghanistan on Sunday. Will they persist with Ratcher? Will they persist with Gittins? Jakeem Pollard surely has to come back into this team. If he does come back into this team, who's he coming back into the team for? Will they consider that Matthew Miller is an all-rounder? Will they bring him in to make sure there's a bit more batting solidity? What I would suggest people do, though, is if you've got time, at 7:30 tomorrow morning, Afghanistan under-19 are playing South Africa under-19. They are the remaining 2 teams in our group, and I suggest people look in for that match. I might not be able to, but if you are able to, I suggest people look into that match just to get an idea and a grip of how good are those 2 teams and what challenges do you feel us potentially facing, particularly when we play Afghanistan on Sunday. Okay, but anyways, people, we're off to a win. That's actually all that matters. 2 points on the board. Let's kick on. If we can win the next game against Afghanistan, we're basically through already. So let's see if we can capitalize on this. Fireball says Fireball's an admin. He just said he banned a guy by accident. Good on you. Ban him, yes. I don't even know what he did, but ban him, yes. Every now and again, a man must catch a ban for no reason. So ban him up. I've got no problem with that whatsoever. People, that's that. I don't think I've got much more else to say. I've got to go and take him. Oh, Fireball says I've got to unban him. I'm not unbanning him. Who did Fireball ban, people? He's an unruly you know. You see these Trinis? They're a set of unruly people, you know. Fireball must have thought he was that he was Tanty. He must have thought he was Tanty, just out here on the social media, just banning people. So Fireball's a drunk Tanty right now. He's a drunk Kamla, just banning up the people. This unruly Trini, you know. But anyways, so people, let me get out of here. I actually need to go and take some paracetamol. I should show you. Let me see if I can. Let me get naked out here. Let me give you some OnlyFans content. Hold on, people. Let me take myself off the screen first and see, because I'm about to give you some OnlyFans content. If some of you might want to disconnect right now. I'm about to give you some nakedness. 1 second, people. Let me just look at myself. Can you see it? Don't even know. Can you not see that? Hold on. I need to take fireball. Let me see. Can you see the bruise right there, people? Can you see it? It's right there. Right there. It's a big, big bruise underneath there, you know, right into my ribs. Look at that. Look at that OnlyFans content I'm giving you lot. Can you even see it? Look right there, people. Look at that nakedness I'm giving you lot right now. Prime OnlyFans content. Couple man getting excited right now. Giving you that real titillation. Sometimes you just got to get the titty them out for the people them, you know. So let me get out of here. Let me get out of here. People, I'll be Machel St. Patrick Hewitt. I'll be back very, very soon. Hope you enjoyed that West Indies under-19 win. And yeah, look out for some more content dropping very, very soon. Like, share, subscribe, all the social media handles, www.caribbeancricketpodcast.com, where you can find all our different social media handles. Go subscribe to all of that. And dropping an article tomorrow on Darren Sammy, so look out for that to drop as well. Anyways, let me get out of here, people. Peace.
West Indies Cricket, Caribbean Cricket Podcast.